seeing a diversity of people at the con. So obviously there's people we know from the shop who are like our regular customers, so it's really nice seeing customers come in and supporting this venture. It's also nice seeing people who I don't necessarily recognise, but they've still come in, you know, they've got the kids with them, it's like a generational thing. I mean, you've got to back the creators, because without creators you don't have an industry. So these are the people who work really hard, and it's very easy for people to focus on like, oh, the writer, but then you've got the artists as well who've got so much work in, and we've got a range of people who've been published at all levels, and like some self-publishers, and like we've got Sarah Garvey across from us,
and she does.
Yeah, she's done. She started off with like Pizza Witch and a few like indie stuff, but now she's working on Kim Reaper. So like without this kind of support where people can build on their reputation from cons, they can't go up the ladder, so they can't perpetuate and carry on the industry without this kind of thing. And people coming in to meet them and discovering them. I mean, one of the people who was stopping by the store to buy comics was saying about how it's such a shame that, you know, she goes to comic conventions and there's not many comics on sale, so it's really nice to be able to look through a box. It's just like, I'm happy we'll be able to sell her comics, but I'm sad that she's been to a con without comics, because what's the point? You know, what's the point of having a comic convention if you're not going to sell comics? Absolutely. I mean, Birmingham, if anything, needs more of things like this. Birmingham's always been a very creative city. Birmingham's always been a very individualistic city. We've got a good music scene that's not kind of appreciated enough. Like, we're the birthplace of heavy metal. We're the birthplace of like Tolkien and
comic cons.
Yeah, I mean, so why is there not more here?
Well, I'm here, as well as Time Bomb comics generally, Flicklock, which is my ongoing anthology series, all set in the 18th century. I've got 2 issues out of that at the moment. I've got book 3 coming out early next year, and that's what I'm pushing a lot this year. It features genuinely diverse lead characters. So we've got Lady Flintlock as a female highwayman. We've got Shanti, who is an Indian pirate queen. Her adventures are all set around the Indian Ocean. We've also got the Clockwork Cavalier, who's a mechanical man that has been recruited into the Bow Street Runners to fight crime. One of the things that makes Flintlock a little bit different is that each of the books contain at least 3 different stories. Each of those 3 stories are set in a different decade within the 18th century. So they're standalone stories, but at the same time, it's a shared time. So what happens to one character in their story in 1720 will have an impact on another character in their story, for example, in 1780. And as the series continues, you start to notice those little connections building in between the separate stories to fill out an overall 100-year time. Well, he asked me to come, quite frankly, and I'm glad I did. It's a nice vibe, it's a nice show. It's a great first show for someone who's never organised a show before. It's great. I mean, and what's been really good to see is that it's been nicely advertised around the city. He's got Nostalgia Comics, the biggest and best comic shop in the UK, let alone Birmingham, behind it, and they've been promoting it as well. So you can see that in the football. It's great, you know. A nice load of people have turned up, a nice mixture of comic fans, cosplayers and the curious, which is exactly how it should be. And it's great to see everyone gathering together and just enjoying not just the comics, but also the ideas and the characters behind those comics.
Yeah, I'm Ginger Dan, and I'm an illustrator. Well, I want to be an illustrator, that's the main thing I want to be, but in my spare time, this is what I do. So I make prints and illustrations and I do commissions and shows. Gotta say, the main reason is because I love making artwork. Is the main thing of it. This is a big love for me. Compared to other cons, this show in particular feels very sort of like friendly. It feels really like community. I think partially as well because I literally live like 5 minutes over there. So like for me, it was literally hop, skip, get out of bed and come to the show, which felt great. It's like this was my actual day job every day. Just get up, could draw all day, hang out with cool people. It'd be rad. It'd be awesome. It seems like a really nice vibe. So hopefully there's more shows organised by Pete actually, because I found it very, very nice. And that sounds like a really weird description, but it's just been really nice. Other Comic Cons that can be a bit more very crowded and quite like angsty. This is very casual. And also the satirical title, it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's very sort of like, hey, we're gonna get some people together, do some comics, do some drawing. It'd be fun. It's just really laissez-faire, and I appreciate that.
Right. Good afternoon, Jessica.
I know, good afternoon. It was the morning and suddenly it's the afternoon. It's gone so quick.
Well, what brings you to not another Comic Con in Birmingham this fine sunny summer's day?
I've been very kindly invited by Peter Burke, who is organising this, and I just found out that it's part of his business degree, doing a business
Masters.
MA, Masters.
Yeah.
I think that's blimming amazing. I mean, I've got my husband here today. It's his first ever Comic Con and first ever time he's assisted me at one. But he is bowled over by the enterprise, if you like, and this is all, you know, the thing about this kind of Comic Con as opposed to the big, you know, the NCM and the big, this is more about homegrown and the indie stuff and small shops, small businesses doing their thing. So I find it interesting that Pete's doing a business degree, but he's seen the opportunity that there is, because there are people, you can see by the crowds here today, people that want to come and spend money on the things that they love. This is a really nice balance actually, because it's lovely and busy. There's probably room in Birmingham for a con every weekend, because this is it's like Stoker's got its potteries and comics in, you know, if you get comics, it's Birmingham. And so in a way this is like a department store that's opening its doors every so often, and people, I think people feel that I'm going to go to this con, and if I don't go to it there'll be another one, and that doesn't detract from the numbers. I mean, looking here today it's so busy, so I think it's actually good. Pete Burke has got the right idea, he, you know, and he's probably looking at how today's gone and thinking about ways, you know, to improve it, whatever. And I think if people actually had more of a, you know, be business minded about it. It's a niche, but there's a big niche there.
I've had a great time, very cosplay orientated today, which is fine, but sometimes the shows I go to, I do about 40 of these a year, some of them are more cosplay based as opposed to sort of generic people coming looking for autographs. But yeah, today's been a cosplay one and it's been great. Some of the costumes have been absolutely amazing. But yeah, I found it a really enjoyable day, and I get to sit with these lovely people either side of me, and they're great.
Can't have it
as
all,
well.
can you?
Yeah. Holly and Matthew are lovely guys, and I'm so proud to call them both my friends.
Really enjoying it. Obviously, I like this area because it's popular, very busy, and yeah, we're here for fans. At the end of the day, if it wasn't for the fans, they would be like we wouldn't be here.
What was the thinking behind this Comic Con?
Well, as part of my Masters course, I had to put on a final event because I'm doing a Masters in Events and Exhibition Management. And I kind of sat back and thought, well, what kind of event do I want to go to? What kind of event do I think I know quite a bit about? And then instantly comics, geekery, that kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, I can do that. And as soon as the idea hit, it kind of just snowballed into what it's turned out to be, which is a pretty amazing day, pretty cool day, and I thought people just communicated well and were nice to people. And I know that's maybe a real naive thing, but I got a turnout that I'm happy with, and I suppose that's all I was really looking for. I was looking to come away thinking, do you know what, I did the best I could do, I worked as hard as I could work, I treated people with respect, and it turned out like whatever turned out like, and that was all I really wanted from it, and I think I've achieved all of those goals. The involvement with the film and TV guests and the comic creators, like us, just even little thing like putting that we've got a guest coming and then they retweet it, and that retweet gets 20, 30, 40, 50 likes and all that kind of stuff, and you're like, it's bringing all that attention in, and I knew that's why you do it, but it's not until you see your phone going because it's like retweet, and you see all these things happening that makes it the thing you thought was going to happen but you didn't know it was going to happen the way it's like a Christmas morning kind of feel. It's not until all the wrapping comes off and you start seeing all these happen that you're just like, yeah, it's pretty cool, it's a pretty good day. We wanted to just be that little bit different, and I wanted it to just be people caring about what we actually did and why we did it, not just here because their favourite TV film guest was here, not just because their favourite creators here, that they wanted to just be here because we did enough to make them think, you know what, that sounds pretty cool. Well, that was one of the things, and again, I know I divert a little bit, the staff at Nostalgia. So Dave, David, Lauren, Laura, Ryan, Ian, and particularly Surf. Surfer Dave, manager, top bloke. Everyone has gone every inch of themselves to help me out. Like, there's no one that hasn't done selling the raffle ticket or hasn't distributed the flyer. Like, I've walked in just as a customer on a day off, and I'm seeing them putting the flyer into the bag and saying, "Oh, have you seen this event?" Everyone has gone to bat for me. Like, I didn't know people still had that genuine, warm community thing within them. We're in a grey, dreary city where you're always about that crime or this crime or the same horribleness, and it's a group of people because they like the idea, and I treat them with respect and I try and be nice to everyone, that they've gone above and beyond themselves to help. And I suppose that ties back into that community thing that you said. Nostalgia, since 1977, has been the shop that people in this city go to. And I know we've had other pretenders to the throne, but there is only one shop in this city as far as I'm concerned, and that community, we've got staff from that shop here, we've got customers from that shop here, we've got customers from that shop working for me.
Creators,
yeah.
creators who go to that shop here.
Yeah, we've got it. It's like it's infectious. It's like the nostalgia was the centre of the universe with this, and it's just spawned from there. I want to go again. I want to go and next year be bigger and better.